things of nature, things of that 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 nature.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Pod of That Nature Transfer Portal Edition. We are coming to you, I guess by the time you guys will watch this, it'll be either during the second half of Arkansas UCA, maybe halftime, maybe post-game. But we come bearing good news. I am Andrew Ellis. I'm here with my good buddy Curtis Wilkerson. We've been saying for a while, we're going to be bringing you guys some good news. We've been covering all the exits. We obviously covered Arkansas's Transfer Portal Edition. Jaquan McCoy the other day. We got some breaking news in the middle of a stream earlier today with the transfer from defensive back from Oklahoma. And we've got some more good news for the Arkansas secondary. Arkansas lands JUCO, the number one JUCO corner in the country, KeShawn Davila from Northwest Mississippi Community College. Curtis, what say you?
Well, it's funny, man, because in our group chat with John, we were kind of joking around today about how we would probably have to do some kind of breaking news commitment thing during halftime of the Arkansas basketball game. Lo and behold, here we are. But yeah, this is good news, man. And we've kind of been waiting on this. In fact, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier today. We were like, it's weird that we haven't heard anything about this guy yet, because I think he announced that he was going to try to commit on the 12th. We knew that he had visited Arkansas, and lo and behold, he winds up popping for the Razorbacks today. And yeah, I mean, 6'1", 170 pounds. He was down to a final three that included Virginia Tech and UCLA. So some other power conference programs there. And he had quite a bit of offers. I mean, it was a pretty impressive offer list, Andrew. Iowa, Michigan State, Arizona State, Baylor, Florida, Utah. And like you said, the number one JUCO corner in the country, number 7 overall JUCO prospect in the country. And, you know, like junior college guys don't always pan out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. A lot of times you see that it's like, year 2 before they really get it going. But if you're going to get these guys and you're going to make it work, why don't you just go out and get the best ones? And so Arkansas has done that with the corner now to complement Bubba Craig, who is the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the junior college ranks. So a couple of JUCO pickups for the Razorbacks. So I guess that still counts as transfer because it is a junior college transfer. So we're going to roll with it. It's somebody that they're bringing in. I'm anticipating they're expecting him to be a factor for them in the secondary next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want a class full of JUCO guys. You don't want to live and die by the JUCO portal. But I do think if you're going to do it, 2 guys, both of which who are ranked number 1 in the country at their positions. And by the way, as you can see here in this little graphic, that is KeShawn Davila's son, who came on his visit with him.
Hey.
Has him in the hog gear and all that. I like that. Here was the graphic that the University of Arkansas just put out, or I guess it was him that put it out. I guess they made it for him. But yeah, this is one that we've been kind of waiting on. He visited last week, and we were kind of thinking, okay, is he going to pop? Is he going to be Arkansas's first portal commit? I guess you can call it portal, even though it's a JUCO guy. We kind of thought this news would happen a week ago. We're a little confused when it didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, today, obviously the news of Jalen Braxton going to Ole Miss makes this sting no matter what. Like, it felt like no matter, even if Arkansas landed a really awesome corner, you were going to be kind of looking at it and be like, oh man, Jalen Braxton going over there. But you get Connie Walker from Oklahoma, who a guy that has started in the SEC. Is he a for sure lockdown starting SEC corner? To be determined. We'll see where he ends up for Arkansas, but a guy that you expect to be in your 2 deep. And yeah, you said it there. I think KeShawn Davila is a guy that, if he's not going to be a starter, absolutely going to be in that 2 deep. And so Arkansas, with, of course, Jalen Braxton going on. Hudson Clark was starting at corner for a lot through Arkansas throughout the season this year. You also had some Keon Stewart, who's a senior. He's exiting. Marquise Robinson, another senior. Guys who filled those spots for Arkansas this past year. None of which, by the way, it's not like Arkansas is losing a ton of game changers that played this past year at corner. But you just had a lot of spots to fill. And so Arkansas goes out there and fills 2 today. Shout out to Darren Wilson and shout out to Marcus Woodson, who, as Richard Davenport would say, double teamed this recruitment here. You had the 2 secondary coaches for Arkansas. And so look, is this a one that's going to move the needle where all the fans are going to be like, you know what? I was mad at Sam Pittman, but now that they got the number 1 JUCO corner, I'm sold. No, it's not that. Is this a guy that's going to be like an All-American? I have no idea. We'll see. But I just do think that Arkansas needed they had a lot of work to do in the portal. They have a lot of spots to fill. And look, I think like I've said a million times now, if you're Arkansas, you don't really get to be picky and say, are we sure this kid is good enough? I think you need all the help you can get. And I think Arkansas brought in 2 guys who they think are going to give them some of that depth, give them some experience as well. And we'll see how Davila's skill set translates to the SEC. But I think this is the type of guy you can take a chance on. And look, we're gonna continue to see what else Arkansas does with their roster, where they decide to spend some of that NIL money that we are told that they have. I don't know if this necessarily classifies as that, but anytime you can clear up something that's a question mark, because I mean, look, Arkansas needed corners. They needed as many. I mean, they still needed plenty of defensive backs, but I think you can go ahead and start filling some spots in that 2 deep, and then we'll continue to see what this team does in terms of rounding out the rest of the roster. But this is one that Arkansas, I feel like, was expecting. Arkansas was hoping they would get in the mix of, so it's good to see them win a recruiting battle, even if it is, maybe not going to. Maybe it softens the blow a little bit from all the exits that have been going on. But I think this is one that Arkansas. This is some good news that Arkansas fans needed.
Yeah, for sure. I still hope that they go out and get a bona fide, no doubt starter at corner. You're in the SEC, man. Like you got to have a shutdown guy, a number one, because you're going to be facing a lot of really talented receivers. Hope that they go do that, and then I start to feel pretty good about the depth that they have there between these guys. One thing that I like about both of these additions today. Walker, big corner, 6'2". I think he's 200 pounds, so kind of a big boy. I don't know how fast he is, whatever. But I like the size there. Same thing here with Davila, 6'1", only 170 pounds. You put a little meat on the bones there, but you don't have to be that heavy to be a corner. But I like some height and some length at the corner positions. I have his stats from the last couple of years here. It's junior college, so take it for what it's worth. But this past season, 22 total tackles. He had 1 for loss, 9 passes defended, and 3 interceptions. And he did that 9 games. So to get 3 picks in 9 games, I think is pretty promising there. Last season, as a true freshman, he had 35 tackles, had 6 TFLs, so they must have been running some corner bliss. My man, get him in the backfield there. 2 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and a sack on a pretty good team. I mean, they made it to the junior college playoffs there. Productive, a little bit of a ball hawk, 5 interceptions in 2 years, and hopefully that's something they can translate over for the Hogs. I'm with you, Andrew, where, is this going to be one where people can look at it and go, oh, damn, like this dude is he's the real deal. He's proven he's done it at a high level. No, not necessarily. But it's another guy with some potential. And between these 2 that you have today, you just hope that you're a little bit deeper and a little bit more solid there on the outside, because man, it was a struggle for Arkansas. They were at the bottom of the SEC in pass defense this year. They need depth. They need bodies. They also just need change. They need to look at different guys in there to see what they can get. And there is certainly a trend in the right direction for them. So where are we at now? 3 pickups here. We've got the big fella, the offensive lineman from Oregon, McCroy, Oklahoma defensive back, and then his junior college defensive back. I don't think that these are going to be the splashy guys that Arkansas is going to go out and get, but it's like Sam Pittman said, they're going to have to fill out some depth. They want to bring in some guys with a little bit of track record and some experience, and well, here you go. So he said in his press conference the other day, give him about a week and a half and then see how you feel about things. And to his credit, within the last 2 or 3 days here, he's gone out and made some additions. He got Selman Bridges back out of the portal, which is another big one in the secondary in terms of talent and guys that they're excited about. So slowly but surely, they're starting to put some pieces together, still have a ton of work to do. What do they still need? 9, 10, 11 starting caliber guys, and then quite a bit of depth, but at least they're adding some bodies. They'll be able to field the team next year. We can give them that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what Arkansas did today with getting Davila, getting Walker from Oklahoma, it gives you some guys that I feel like bring at least some stability, some older guys. I mean, Davila hasn't played at the SEC level, but you expect him to be able to contribute on at least some level. So you get some guys that you feel good about that are going to be able to contribute. You add that with Selman Bridges, with Jaden Allen, and with Akari Johnson, some of these younger defensive backs that they say they like a lot. And Selman Bridges, by the way, and you mentioned the size and the length of these 2 guys they brought in today. Bridges certainly fits that kind of archetype. I believe he's listed as 6'2", 175, 180. Right. So like that same kind of long, rangy corner is kind of what Arkansas wants. But I feel like what today does, it frees Arkansas up to maybe take a chance on someone kind of the McCroy kind of archetype of a former top 100 recruit, maybe a young guy who hasn't gotten on the field yet, someone that could be a diamond in the rough, someone that's like a really talented guy that's just sitting around that you can kind of maybe take a chance on someone like that, knowing you have a couple of these older guys to kind of fill the gap if they needed. But I think all the attention kind of turns to safety for Arkansas. They thought they were getting the safety. Forget what school it was that he was from. Why am I blanking on that? Where was that safety from?
UAB?
The UAB safety. That's right. The guy that played against them this year. I feel like Arkansas is going to have to go out and get at least 2 safeties. I mean, obviously you're losing TJ Metcalf, you're losing Jaden Johnson, guys that played a lot of snaps for you this past year. So we'll see what they do there. But I feel like they've got some stability here at corner, and we'll see what they're able to do there. But I think that you're looking for a few more big splashes. By the way, one thing I wanted to mention on Davila, it's originally from Tampa. I feel like Arkansas never has anybody from Tampa. I can't think of that many Razorbacks from that area, from down South Florida. Really, honestly, I feel like Florida recruiting in general has dipped here since the Alex Collins, Randy Shannon days when Arkansas felt they had 5 Florida guys on their roster. It also, we'll see if maybe this gets Arkansas back in Florida. Does Scott Fountain maybe play a role? Because I know he recruits a little bit of the Florida range. But again, I think we've said it here. It's not like this is a move that's going to be going to win all the fans right back over. It's hell yeah, we're back and loaded. But I think you see this coaching staff starting to put some things together, starting to fill some holes, fill some question marks. And now I do think that they're going to have to make a few big splashes, but I think getting some of these out of the way, because look, like we said earlier today, Arkansas is going to bring in 20 to 24 transfer guys. Not all of them are going to be the Pooh Pauls and the big, massive, even the Jaden Hazelwoods or Drew Sanders type of guys. You need a lot of guys that can just fill spots in your 2 deep. I feel like they got 2 of those guys today. And again, it's not the final step. There's plenty of work to do, but I feel like it's a promising first step. And another thing I would point out is that, and I said this earlier today, that Travis Williams seems kind of content to let some of these guys go and kind of just say, hey, we're gonna bring in our guys. If you want to leave, go ahead. We'll just bring in our guys, and we feel like it's going to be the same. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it does seem like Arkansas is kind of willing to just trust their own evaluations on the defensive side of the ball.
I support that move in the secondary. I think after what I saw last year, for sure, I can. To your earlier point, I can see the headlines already. Florida man gets interception in Razorback debut. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. But no, good stuff there for the Razorbacks. It's been an eventful weekend already, and I'm sure that it will continue to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not done yet this weekend. And we'll see what's to come here. I just, out of the corner of my eye, I just saw Trevor Brazile dunk on a guy and DJ Wagner hit another 3. So Razorback basketball is going well as we speak in the moment with this.
Yeah, shout out to Razorback basketball for getting a big enough lead in the first half to where we felt freed up to where we're like, hey, we can jump on here and get this. Would have liked to get it done before the end of the second half, but there you have it, folks. Arkansas lands another, I guess their 3rd portal commit if you're counting JUCO guys as portal commits. I don't know if it technically is the transfer portal, but again, Arkansas gets their 2nd defensive back of the day. We will continue to keep you updated with all the transfer news and madness and craziness, outgoing, incoming, whatever the case may be. We are going to be your one-stop shop to cover it. Make sure you're subscribed to Inside Arkansas, our YouTube channel, Pot of That Nature, the podcast feed. We will be seeing you guys very soon for our basketball postgame show here in about 30 minutes. Have a good one, guys. Woo pig.